Hello and welcome everyone to the second episode of the 2010 Villagers podcast. I'm hosted by myself, Mr Sam Shepherd. Joining me again this week, I've had to have him back because I couldn't find anyone else. Mr Ash Walker, Mr Jack Salt, how are we doing, lads?
I think it's because you've got no other mates, Sam. I think that's why.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I'm doing well, Sam. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. It's fair to say last week's episode went very well. And we just wanted to say that the feedback we've had on it has been absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. We never thought we'd get like this, especially off one episode. We really enjoyed doing it, and just the response we've had from fans and from players and people getting involved with things. It's been fantastic. So we just wanted to put that on record and thank everyone before we get on with tonight's show.
Our group chat has been lit, as they say, this week with all your responses. We have been shocked, and we're so happy that you've all enjoyed it so far.
I mean, we did think about putting party hats on tonight, but the budget didn't quite stretch that far. So
what budget? I'm not getting paid expenses.
And we do have some more brilliant news to bring you later on in the show as well. Yeah. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's sure to be another good one.
Hope so.
Yeah, we do. So we'll kick off again with the news. And I'm going to hand over to Jack first for this one. Again, similar to last week, you've probably all heard about this, but we'll give our thoughts on it. So, a departure from Ferriby and a new confirmed signing in the last few days.
Yeah, so in the past few days we lost our ex-captain James Pearcey. He's gone home, as they've called it, to Hall Road Rangers.
God, imagine if that was your home. You'd move out, wouldn't you?
But honestly, fair play to James. I don't think any of us have got a bad word to say about him.
No.
He's been a fantastic servant to this club. He was captain for getting on for 4 years now, and I think we'd all say here, we wish you all the best, James. You've been nothing but nice to all of us for the past 4 years that you've been here, and we've been happy to see you wear the shirt. But where there's an out, there's always an in. We were happy to welcome Ewan Healy to the club this week. He's played a bit in pre-season before, played at Brid, and has played a few of the other games. Looks really good, really tidy centre midfielder. And again, it just adds to the competition that we've got in that centre midfield. We're building one of the strongest midfield in the league, quite clearly.
I think the midfield, when we first announced our squad, I think we all said the midfield looks a little bit like you need a bit of depth.
We needed another player or two in there.
And watching Ewan on Saturday, he's got a little bit of bite, and I think that's going to really do as well. Yeah,
you talk about that squad depth. I mean, we've brought in two of the really, really good centre midfielders, Kieran McCaffrey and now Ewan. But we've also got Danny East that can play in the centre of midfield if we need him. At the end of the day, if we really need him, Danny Emerton can play in the centre of midfield. So, again, like we've said, the squad depth has improved this year, but nice to see Ewan on board. Very nice guy. Has lots of experience higher up. The last club was Pickering. So obviously he'll be good mates with Niall Tilsley, so them two should get along fairly well. And yeah, we hope we see a good stint from him in the green and white.
I bet that away shirt needs a wash, doesn't it? The amount of pictures you've had, new signings.
I know, it's been ridiculous, obviously, with new signings, re-signings. We've used it for all of them, but yeah, it's really good to see, and every single signing and re-signing has been given a great reception, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how the full squad does when the first game comes around.
And I will just say on Pearcey, obviously, he's been with the club a long time now. Really nice guy, and you know, it was really always put massive effort in for Ferriby, and he was with us through the hard end period as now Ferriby United.
He stuck
when
through
things
the club,
really weren't good, and you know, he led the team through that, and you know, he always great effort from him, and you know, we wish him well this season as he goes back to Hall Road.
Apart from when the players,
of course, yeah. Right, so second piece of news, we'll hand over to Jeff. Mr. Stelling to go through some of the notable scores from the weekend and the week.
So Saturday, we'll start with Saturday. They're mostly pre-season friendlies. In fact, they all were. AFC Mansfield 0, Swallownest 1. Armthorpe 1, Newark 3. Affersley 2, Parkgate 2. I love this one. Brid 0, Frickley 5. Attendance.
Oh dear.
Get ready. Groundbreaking attendance. Grand total of 128. So well done, Brid. You didn't sell out again. Campion 6, Middleton 1. Lincoln United 0, Skegness 0. Ollerton 3, Nostell 2. Retford 1, Staveley 3. Thorn 2, Harrogate Railway 4. Wakefield 1, Rossington 4. Winterton 4, Scunthorpe under 18s 0. Winterton, your cookies in the post. You beat a lot of school children. Also, Winterton, your Twitter account on Saturday.
Oh dear.
Sack whoever is doing your social media. Your gifts are embarrassing. Sorry. Yorkshire 2, Emily 1. And then everyone's favourite club from last week. Lunsford Tavern.
Go on, boys!
Great win over Heather Rangers, 4-3. Can I just say it was a great week for the unknown family. The unknown children scored many goals this week. He's saying Hall Road's game at home, who were they playing? Keelby, that's it, against the mighty Keelby was called off. No surprises there. A little bit of spit, can't handle it. And East Hull's game against Beverley was off, but they were away, in all fairness. Tuesday, FA Cup fixtures from last night. Glasshoughton 1, Knaresborough 1. Glasshoughton got beat 4-2 on penalties, so unfortunately for Glasshoughton they are out the cup. And then Brid were in the cup last night, got beat 2-0 away at Thornaby. I guess they can't handle playing in front of a crowd, so there's 260 there last night. Can't handle it.
It's not going well for Brid, is it? Since they beat us.
Since Spurs are still on over. Brid
Well, it was their cup final.
Brid Rebels still on the tables, can't shift him. And good luck to Campion tonight against Albion, and also good luck to Hall Road, who are playing
Bishop Auckland.
Bishop Auckland, which will be one hell of a test for them.
James Pearce's debut.
James Pearce's debut, yeah, you're starting today. So fair play to Hall Road if we can get something there tonight.
There was a result I was going to mention.
I was going to say, any results in there that...
Yes, obviously the Frickley one, just a point that Mr. Jarman scored on his debut with Frickley against Brid. Maybe we were wrong about Armthorpe last week. I could have seemed to come back down to earth a bit this weekend.
Yeah.
That first one, Swallow. Did you say Swallowness getting a win at AFC Mansfield?
I did one now.
That's a good result. AFC Mansfield building a decent side, obviously league above. Josh Wilder's gone there, which is just quite frankly a ridiculous signing.
That's a massive signing.
He's far too good for that level. But yeah, that's a good result for Swallowness. Mansfield chucking a bit of money about.
Campion hit 6, but they were playing Middleton. I have no idea what level they are.
That's a place for Max and Paddy, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
That's Middlewood.
Nearly.
I'm glad you've kept us up to date on Nunsthorpe though.
Yeah, that's going to be
weird.
weird.
How they do every week.
They've got a cracking Twitter account. And can I just say, I googled them on Twitter, I typed them in, and their reserve team, this is no word of a lie, their reserve side in October last year played the local Wetherspoons. And that is no word of a lie. So they are officially...
Nunsthorpe, you've got 3 new fans, lads.
So, and can I just say, they are playing tomorrow at Barton.
At Barton?
They are playing Barton reserves tomorrow, so if anyone wants to go fancy one across the river, it's free entry. Nunsthorpe versus Barton.
Don't support the boys.
Yeah. That's me really.
Absolutely brilliant as always, Jeff. Thank you for that.
I apologise to Winston's Twitter man, but I was disgusted on Saturday, as you may have seen on Twitter.
But on the back of that, obviously this midweek, the FA Cup's kicked off. So unfortunately we aren't involved, but over 300 clubs have started their official season.
Bridge has ended.
And yes. So obviously we were supposed to have Burton Park Wanderers against AFC Sudbury on the BBC. However, it was called off, and Burton Park had to sacrifice their place in the cup and give Sudbury a bye because of a positive COVID-19 test. And that also happened to Redhill and Walsham Le Willows. So that's 3 teams who had to give up their place in the FA Cup, forfeit their matches.
I don't think I like that.
Because of players having to isolate due to COVID-19. Now, do you see potential problems across the leagues if this is going to happen? We've seen it in rugby league as well, where teams have gone down with positive tests. obviously that's really disappointing for those 3 teams to miss out on,
Well, I was just going to say,
an FA Cup game.
The biggest problem there is it's not the game not going ahead. It's the financial impact that's going to have.
Yeah.
Why can't they just arrange a game for 2 weeks' time? Have the FA come out and said that?
I'm not sure, but it's obviously you always got to think logistics down at this level of getting these games, especially that Burton Park game that was supposed to be the feature game streamed on the BBC website.
The amount of publicity they've lost from that.
That was really disappointing. That must be really disappointing for them. Obviously, we hope that the players from the different teams that have tested positive for COVID are okay and everything. But yeah, it's an interesting one to keep a note of if this is what's going to happen if and when players or staff test positive, which we've got to admit is a real possibility. You know.
Yeah.
So it's something to keep an eye on. Now, talking of the FA Cup, and because me and Jack are quite sad and had nothing better to do last night.
I would have been there if I was able to.
Well, yes, but you weren't, as always. But anyway, we made the trip to Maltby Main last night for a bit of ground hopping.
We did.
Maltby Main against Handsworth in the FA Cup, a bit of a local South Yorkshire derby.
Yeah.
293 out of a possible 300 in attendance. I think it's fair to say it was a very enjoyable game.
Well, the thing is, it had absolutely everything. It had a red card. I'm going to call it a sellout. There was 7 less, but with club officials and that, there was 300. So a sellout crowd, 3 goals, a slope pitch, just as bad as Wearsborough's. I wouldn't have wanted to run up the pitch, let's put it that way. Couple of good sides on show, obviously both league above us, so it was an all NCR Premier derby. And it was just a really, really good game, wasn't it?
Yeah, very enjoyable. Obviously, Maltby came back. They had the red card just before half time, then went 1-0 down just after half time. But a late comeback, couple of brilliant goals. Really good atmosphere with it being a bit of a derby and there being a bit of needle to it. And it was good to watch a competitive game because the difference is definitely there. And the challenges were flying in. And from a neutral point of view, us two, we got a few looks in our Ferriby jackets. I think they might have thought we were on a scouting mission or something. But really, really good night. And it just whets the appetite more for when we can see some actual competitive Ferriby games.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously we watch these friendlies and we think, oh, it's football, so we're just so happy to get back to watch it, especially after having so many months out. But you could just tell that the level had stepped up a bit last night. I mean, don't get me wrong, Maltby Main and Handsworth aren't amazing, but it was good to just watch 2 sides going 2-0 at each other to try and get the win and get through to the next round. I don't like the cliche, the magic of the cup, but it really was. You could tell there last night, you could tell every single player on the pitch, every single coach on the bench, every single fan, that it meant so much to all of them. And obviously Maltby came out of it victors. The second goal was an unbelievable goal. You could tell it was going in as soon as it left his foot. But yeah, the red card probably changed it. I never really thought Handsworth were comfortable. I didn't really think they were comfortable, especially only 1-0 up. You always thought if Maltby got that first goal that they'd get the second goal, and obviously that materialised. But there was a couple of good performances on show. A couple of full backs, both looking really, really good.
All I've heard all day is about these full backs. I've heard all day.
Okay, they were good players, mate, and you look at those sides and you look at our side, but I'm not going to lie, none of the players I think would get in our side. And that's a league above.
I was just going to say, what did we think in terms of possible comparisons with Ferriby? Obviously, we tweeted last night that we hope we're back at Maltby next year in a league game.
Surely.
Well, we really do hope so. I think if that is the type of level in that Premier Division, we certainly haven't got to worry about relegation if we got up there.
Well, no. Well, we've seen those two, and we've seen Gainsborough, and I'll be fair, I've not been impressed with any of them.
If you look at the teams that go up from our league into that league, they always seem to do well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much difference.
No, there isn't. You look at that game and you look at our games, especially that we watched last year. So say like our games against Hallam and the like. They're very, very similar standards. So whichever sides go up this year, I think will be okay. I can't see any of them going down, but we've obviously seen the likes of those 3 teams that we mentioned. We've got Albion coming up on Saturday, another team from that division. We're going to end up playing half the division. But it's good for us because it's good for us to see.
That's what we needed.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't want to play teams in your own league because you're going to be playing against them.
I think last season's pre-season, I'm not having a go at whoever makes the fixtures, but we played a lot of under-21 sides last
Yeah, we
year.
did.
And I don't think that got us ready for the battles that we were going to get.
Exactly, and I think we'll be a bit more prepared this year. Obviously, we've had the games we've had South Cave, so we've gone down a level. We've also gone up levels.
But I think that's better for us playing teams like that who are going to kick us.
Absolutely, and let's face it, Ash, the sides who was higher up, Gainsborough, Cleethorpes, we matched them fairly evenly.
We'll come to Gainsborough.
We will come to Gainsborough, but we matched them both fairly easily, especially Cleethorpes that we managed to beat. So you look at these sides and you look at the game last night and think, do you know what, I really fancy us against them.
Yeah.
Good.
But just to finish that point, just to say thanks to both teams. You know, like I say, we just thought we'd have a trip out last night, and for a fiver, we really enjoyed it, didn't we?
Absolutely,
it was good.
Is there any more trips in the pipeline that I can come on?
There's one in the pipeline.
There's one in the pipeline for next week, maybe.
Am I invited?
Yes.
Good.
Just about.
I won't go away next week then.
Right.
Good.
Thank God for that. So we've mentioned it slightly, but it's time to move on to have a little look back at Ferriby's last game.
Yeah.
Gainsborough on Saturday. Obviously, our first game back at the Dransfield. Your first game watching Ferriby properly this season.
It lasts for a few weeks.
God, you are hard work.
I am.
Very entertaining 2-2 draw.
It was.
I think we can get a few cliches out here. I think the game of two halves needs to come out.
Get that
definitely,
Yeah.
because I think none of us could believe, and I think a tweet put out by you, because you're known as being the negative one. How good were Ferriby in that first half?
That first half, I had to pinch myself after that. That was a performance I did not even see coming.
No.
You would not have looked at the two teams and gone, Ferriby are North Counties Division 1 and Gainsborough are Northern Premier League. You looked the other way around. We took the game to them. We created lots and lots of chances. We took our chances. Got a little bit of luck, but even beside that, we were putting ourselves in situations where we could score goals. And I think I was just gobsmacked at half time. I didn't know what to say about it.
Yeah, I think it was maybe sort of born a bit out of the change of personnel in a different formation. Obviously, we saw Tom Corner play on the left with Scott Phillips going up the middle. Great first start from Scott Phillips. Thought he was very good, caused, especially James Williamson, caused him all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, he's a presence, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Presence.
It's the same with him and Tom. They're very similar players. They're both present. They're going to pressure the ball. We saw for the first goal.
Yeah.
The goal came from Scott pressuring the keeper who made the mistake. Obviously, Easton then had the shot, which was. I know you don't like me talking about referees, but excuse me for my minute. The clearest handball I've ever seen.
It was a great save.
It was a great save.
Was it a handball? I don't think you mentioned
it was.
I don't think anybody in Ferriby heard you say handball.
But obviously, luckily in hindsight, it's come back to Danny East to chip to him for Scotty Phillips to head in. But yeah, just looking a bit at Scotty Phillips and looking at a bit of the change of formation, I think it kind of worked. I don't think Gainsborough were kind of expecting it from us, to be completely honest. And I think first half, we look at the likes of Luke Lofts, we've seen him rip apart this league. When he was playing for us last year, he's absolutely ripped teams apart. He was in Ben Leyland's pocket here. I don't even think he had a touch of the ball. I cannot remember him having a touch of the ball in that first half.
He got hooked at half time, and you made a very good point there. I'll just give my thoughts on the first half. We were fantastic. We could have scored 5 or 6. You know, I must say, we were stood right in front of the penalty, and we got a bit lucky there because I thought that was a good challenge by the game.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But
the referee watching that back could not give a penalty.
Yeah, I agree.
But we absolutely bossed them.
We did.
We bossed them. And I know Woodhouse has come out and said that, you know, his second half team was maybe more like his league side, but there was still plenty in that team in the first half for you have thought that Gainsborough would be favourites. But we absolutely bossed it, and we looked comfortable at the back, you know. And I must say, I agree with Jack. I thought Ben Leyland was superb. I thought he was fantastic. And Danny East, just the class of Danny East.
You can just see.
He's going to be so good to watch for us this season. But I can't fault any of them going forward. I thought Emma had his best game I've seen him have in pre-season. Corner adapted well to playing on the left. And Scotty Phillips, he marked his debut with a goal. Really good presence up front. Obviously, second half, we started to ring the changes. Gainsborough made a few changes as well.
We lost some momentum, didn't we?
We lost a bit of momentum, and these games don't the pre-season games when all the changes started. And Gainsborough created a couple of chances and we took them and they come away with a 2-2 draw. But I think the team that comes out with the credit from the game has to be Ferriby. When you look at the level between the two sides on paper, I was very, very encouraged by that performance.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You can't disagree with it.
It's just one of those, that first half performance just fills you with so much confidence. And if you play like that, God help half the teams in this league that we're in. Sorry, I'm not saying anything bad about the teams in the league we're in, but I just don't think they'll be able to match us performance if we play like that.
Not if we play like that.
We played like that against Northern Premier League side and we ripped them apart.
Just a quick word on the match day experience. Obviously very different.
You love it, Sam. You love the one-way system.
Yes, I did not like the one-way system, but I suppose we just,
Gotta get on with it.
Those are the regulations. We got on with it. Well, some of us did. Some of us don't have to.
Yeah, some of us with our club jackets who can walk wherever we would like. Doesn't really apply to them, does it? But we're not bitter. We're not bitter about it.
No, I mean, in this day and age, it's something. It's put up or shut up, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
You've just got to get on with it, and it's a bit annoying, but it's not that far. You can do with the exercise, both of you.
No, thanks a lot. Now, fortunately, there is a little bit of a sour note to Saturday, boys. Now, here's the tin for the player forfeits, and as you can see, we've even got an electronic one that counts the money for us, so we don't have to do it. There's nothing in it. No. Now, I'm afraid it didn't go very well.
He has not got £2
I was just going to say, Jamie Forrester did his very, very best to have £2 in that tin with that challenge in the second half.
There was a moment I thought I was losing £2 tonight. Loz gave a penalty away, so you could have lost some money.
Yeah, I don't think it was a booking challenge, but then again, the referee booked the lad in the first half.
If it's a league game, there's money in there. That's what we said. We was all a bit disheartened, wasn't we, on Saturday about that? It was like, what are we going to do? But it was like, if it's a league game, there's money in there, so...
Yeah,
let's not worry.
Neither of my players played, so there was not a lot I could do about it, unfortunately. But while we're on the player forfeits, obviously we hope that this team's going to be nearly full by the end of the season, but just to say thank you to Levi, Tom and Jamie for off their own backs offering to match whatever they cost us this season. Obviously the money's going back to the club, and it's a really good gesture from them. And just a bit more, of the feedback we got from the players, that was really positive, and they loved the idea. So we were delighted with that, weren't we?
We were, mate. Yeah, 100%. And obviously the lads are class. They're happy to contribute if it's helping the club, and obviously we've had so much good feedback. Look at what Danny East came up and said to us. Came and gave us all a pat on the back and said what you're doing is really, really good. And obviously for the lads that have matched it, that's unbelievable. There's nothing that we expected. It's all fair play to them. It's just we've got to remember to tell them at the end of the year.
We've got to try and keep a tally, haven't we?
I'm sure you can just about manage that with your tablet.
But Tom, Loz, keep going, lads.
Staying on the money making theme, now this is our big news of the week, and we're absolutely overjoyed about this.
We're excited about this.
So we announced on Twitter last night that we're going to be launching a Super 6 competition. I mean, we do have Jeff Stelling in the studio, so how could we not, really?
Jeff Stelling and non-league.
So, obviously, you probably all know Super 6. Ours a little bit different. Obviously, it's going to be 6 games from the Northern Counties East League Division 1 each game week. One of the 6 will always be Ferriby's game. And we're charging £5 entry for this, and we hope we get a lot of entries. And when you hear what the prizes are in a minute, I think you're going to be encouraged to join, or
you'll be running to your wallets.
So, the rules are quite simple. If you get the correct score exactly, it will be 3 points. If you get the correct result, so a certain team to win, but you don't get the score right, you get 1 point. We'll keep track of that all season, and there will be prizes for first, second and third. And we'll give updates, regular league table updates on this podcast throughout the season. Now, before we get to the prizes, we're going to say 3 different ways to pay. You can either pay us in cash, or via a bank transfer, or on PayPal. Now, I will send this out to people who are interested in entering on email. So basically the fixtures are going to be emailed out every week to everyone who enters, and you can either enter your scores that week by replying to that email or sending us a direct message on Twitter. So that means people who haven't got social media can still get involved. So yeah, contact us. I'll put our Twitter and our email address out at the end of this podcast, so you can see those if you want to get involved. Now, the 3 prizes, this is absolutely superb.
We got told these today, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we got even more excited by this. The group chat was lit again. Capitals were going all over the place. This is crazy.
So it's fair to say, obviously, the chairman's heard about this, and it's fair to say he loves the idea.
He does, absolutely.
And being the absolute legend that he is, the club are putting up the following prizes. So, shall I start with third and up or first and up?
Go third and up.
Go third and up, let's have a bit of suspense.
So, third prize will be signed North Ferriby FC shirt from this season, signed by the full squad, and that's only third prize. Second prize is a 2021-2022 North Ferriby FC season pass, which is fantastic.
That should be first prize. Why is that not first prize, Sam?
Well, because the first prize, Ash, is you'll be given the opportunity to be match ball sponsor at a game in the 2021-2022 season. Now, I'll just run through everything that comes with that. So it'll be for 2 people. You get 2 VIP match tickets, meet and greet in the boardroom with a complimentary drink, programme and team sheets. You get seating in the director's box, recognition of your sponsorship in the programme and over the PA system throughout the game, and your half-time buffet and drinks. So I think that is just, to have that response and to get that from the club, we've got to say thank you to Les for getting on board with this. Thank you to Anthony at the Supporters Club for offering his support as well. And we hope a lot of people get involved, because I think for a £5 to have a go at this game all season, we hope that we can get a lot of entries in now, because we think they are 3 really cracking prizes.
We didn't expect to get any, like the prizes, we didn't expect them to be that good, did we?
No.
When we came with the idea a couple of weeks ago, if you said to us what the first prize was going to be, I think we'd have said, go away. But it's just crazy.
At the end of the day, there's probably getting up for 200 quid's worth of prizes there, isn't there? So, like Sam said, all we can do is say thank you to Les and Jill and everybody at the club. And just make sure you enter. It's a bit of fun, and look what you can win.
We're gutted we can't enter, aren't we?
I know.
We're gutted.
Yeah, and I mean the match ball sponsorship on its own is worth £100. So it's so worthy to enter from just a £5. Like I said, it's a bit of fun. We're organised. We'll be able to keep on top of it really easily. And there's easy ways to do it.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It will probably take about a minute of your day. Yeah. So make sure you enter. These prizes are unbelievable that have been put up by the club. And like we've said, and we will say this till we're all blue in the face, every single penny goes to the club. The club gets 100%, we get nothing, we don't even get expenses to travel here. But the club gets everything, so you're not supporting us, you're supporting the club. So if you can all get involved with that, it'd be brilliant. We hope to see all you fans, hopefully a few of the players, we might even get Les involved himself.
Yeah, we'll get him involved.
Yeah, we'll put full details out of this on social media in the next couple of days. And we'll announce fixtures each week on here. And like I said, there'll be a couple of different ways to enter so that everyone can get involved.
We'll update the leaderboard on here.
Yes,
we'll keep updating who's winning
on the leaderboard. So really exciting.
It is.
Next of our weekly initiatives, we better have a quick round of pies and pisses, haven't we, Jack?
We are.
An unofficial one, we must say. But we'll have a bit of a go with Maltby last night. Now, for the pies section, we're going to allow them to have the chip shop that we went to, aren't we? Which was absolutely banging.
I've not had fish and chips like that for a long time. As you can tell, we're not quite small yet. So our fish chips and peas or curry, what we had last
You have a
night.
sausage as well on the side.
Yep.
I've got to send pictures of this.
For half the
fish
price
chip.
of what you pay
Absolutely.
around
For
here.
for £6, it's at least a solid 8.
It is an 8. It's
Oh,
an
sorry, you
it's-
can get that for £4 down on Abbey Road. I'm going to go on a mission tomorrow and buy
Oh,
£4.
you go to Viking and try and get all of that
I'm going to.
for
I'm going to do
£4. I dare you.
So we'll go 8 for that. Pints, I'm afraid, which probably going to have to be a 0.
Well, it has to be
There
a
wasn't
0
bar.
because there wasn't any.
There wasn't a bar. And
Just,
we went to the toilet just
Now-
before we left. No, wow.
All I can say for the toilets is that there was sun. The quality of them was extremely poor.
Yeah.
expand.
There was toilet roll everywhere.
It was a 2-man urinal.
That looked like it was going to fall off the wall. There was mould. It was freezing. The hot tap didn't work. Yeah, not great.
Makes the toilets at Dean Park look like going to the toilet in the Ritz.
I think a 2.
A 2 is, to be honest, Sam, I'd maybe say a 2 is generous, but I'll agree with you with a 2.
So congratulations, Maltby. You got 10 out of 30, and 8 of those were from a chip shop.
Well
not from
done.
your own ground.
Well
So well done.
Well done, mate.
But that, like we've said, Maltby, if you're watching this, you're probably not, but this is a bit of fun between us. Don't take anything to heart what we say.
And it takes nothing away from our enjoyment of the game.
Absolutely, the game was fantastic. It's a nice little ground, nice little setup.
Just give me a 10 out of 30.
Even though the pitch is like that, it's a decent pitch. But yeah, we had a good night, and the fish and chips, unbelievable. The blue whale, in Rotherham,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Right. My least
Here we
favourite
go.
part of the show.
Oh, Sam,
I'm going to get shown up again.
This is all I come for.
This is where my little surprise for you comes in as well this week.
Oh no.
I'm worried I've bigged this surprise up a little bit, but I was travelling to the Yorkshire Dales on Monday,
With his missus.
and I went to have a look, do some research, because I'm prepared, and I stumbled across a tweet by Sam, but I'll come to your tweet, Sam, when I get to the right part. So, 2 questions again, and then 3 players that I need you to guess. First one's easy. Which adjective was used by Farnborough's manager Spencer Day to describe Ferriby's playing style before we played them the FA Trophy?
Bloody
He
hell.
sang a song at the end of the game to commemorate his words.
Goodness me. Farnborough was a long time ago. There was lots of alcohol consumed.
Do you want a clue? Give us the B.
Bullying.
Bolshy.
Bullshit, no. What? If somebody's rough, you know? Brutal.
Brutal. Oh, the clue's in the name of, was it Calvin's book?
Yeah.
Brutal Giants, and
Come on.
that chronicled that FA Trophy
Now,
run.
this is the one where Sam's tweet comes in, but I'll ask the question first. Tom Corner scored a penalty for whom to help knock us out of the FA Cup in 2012.
Ossett Albion.
Well done, Sam. It was Ossett Albion. Can you remember the score?
Was it 2-1?
It was 2-1 who scored our goal.
Oh God, he's testing us
I
now.
don't think I was.
Bradders.
Well done.
Oh!
You know what? I'm going to give Sam an extra point.
That's fair play.
The goal scorer, the scorer of the team. Come on.
Yeah. Well, Sam was really excited to play Ossett. It was an FA Cup second qualified round game. So this is moments after the draw was made.
I hope this isn't really bad.
Farsley or Ossett Albion at home for Ferriby in the second qualifying round of the FA Cup. We should piss that, to be fair. We went on to lose 2-1, as we've said to Ossett. Sam?
Not the first time I've been known to make a
I saw that,
judgment.
and I got excited when I saw that the other day. I thought I was going to hit him with that.
God almighty.
So, unfortunately, we didn't. I don't think Ossett got much further. I can't remember.
I think they lost in the next round.
Yeah, but to be fair, Ossett brought a good crowd in with them that day.
It was good.
Yeah.
Was there a drum?
There was a drum, and we asked for where they got the drum from.
Already minus 10 points to any club that brings a drum.
So Sam is 2-0 up. Remember, the first player is worth 1 point, second player is worth 2 points, third player is worth 3 points. 1 and 2 are quite easy this week.
Right.
Start with number 1. So this player was a defender. Okay, he played for us in the National League North.
Danny Hone.
Yeah. This has to go any further. So it's now 2-1. Okay. We call this player arguably the most talented striker to play for the club.
Anthony Wilson.
Yeah. So that's 4-1.
They were a bit easy.
You can tie here. This player is also a centre half who was signed from Leeds ahead of our national.
Jay Skelton.
Yeah. It's 4-4. So I now have to think of a player.
Off the top of your
off
head.
the top of my head. Okay.
Tie break.
I'm going to look at the team sheet from our memory lane game for a bit of a clue.
Goodness me.
Okay. For those of you who don't know my brother, this player reminds me of my brother, his playing style. Our six-a-side team.
Oh,
Andrea
We
Pierce.
signed him for ahead of our National League season from Blackpool.
oh,
Connor Oliver.
oh!
Yeah,
I knew
so-
it was Oliver.
Well done, Sol. Again, you've beat him, and again, if I was going on Saturday, I would have bought you a pint, but
I didn't even get the one on Saturday.
you didn't actually, I forgot.
What can I say?
It's memory lane now, isn't it?
It is memory
So,
lane.
let's go.
Congratulations, Jack.
Yeah,
2-0
well done.
to you in the
What
quizzes.
can I
Yeah.
say?
So we're going to go for a trip down memory lane now. We're not going to go that far back this week. We're going to go to the 16th of August 2016. Any ideas?
The midweek game against Torquay.
No, that was a Saturday. That was a Saturday after.
Midweek game against Gainsborough.
Correct. What was the score?
3-2 we won.
Yeah, what was special about that win?
Our
First win in the
home
conference.
It was our first win
Points
in
in
the
the
conference.
conference.
Yeah.
Oh no, we drew the
We drew
first
the
home
first
game, didn't we?
Anyone want to guess anyone who started?
Jake Skelton.
Yeah.
Who else would have been in that?
Rory Watson,
Rory Watson.
Roy Watson.
Steve
was in goal.
Brogan,
Brogan played, yeah.
Simon Russell.
Simon Russell played, yeah. Do you want me to go through the team?
Yeah,
Is
go on.
Curtis Bateson still there?
Well, Roy Watson was in goal, obviously. The back four, I'm not sure what position they were playing, but Tyrone Hare, Jake Skelton, Louis Bruce, Stephen Brogan. A midfield of Danny Emerton, Connor Oliver, Simon Russell. I'm not sure who was up front, but either Curtis Bateson or Danny Clark were up front with Ryan Kendall.
Right.
Can anybody remember who scored for us?
Simon Russell scored, didn't
He scored the winner in the 88th minute.
he? I remember that.
We were 2-0 up after 21 minutes.
Did they not score?
Emma got the second one. Who got the first?
You'd have to say Kendo, but I can't
It was.
remember.
Kenda scored after 8 minutes.
Kendo. Right, go on. Sorry. Kendo.
Ollie Johnson got both of their goals. The substitutes that day were Ryan Fallowfield, Ben Middleton, Vinnie McKendy,
God Christ.
Alphonse Fossil-Mensah,
I've got his shirt upstairs in the wardrobe.
and Connor Robinson. Connor Robinson came on for Ryan Kendall, Ben Middleton came on for Stephen Brogan, and everybody's favourite trialist, Vinnie McKendy, came on for Curtis Bateson. Can you remember the player from Gaisley who made a return to the club that night? He left us in the summer to sign for
Brooksby.
Gaisley.
Yeah,
So
We did everything we could to keep him because he was our player of the year before.
Ash Palmer.
Ash Palmer, yeah.
Palmer, yeah.
So it was a good night, that one. I think that was a night that will live in the memory of a lot of Ferriby fans.
Well, it was my first
And mine as
Ferriby
well.
game in the conference because I'd just got back from Australia. So it was a brilliant night.
It was.
You know, midweek game at Ferriby, and you know we really put a stamp on our season that night. That was a very good performance. I seem to remember. Great scenes when Russell got the winner.
It was beautiful.
I remember the pictures that's on my Instagram from that. Was that did we win that and then beat Torquay at the weekend?
Yeah,
the same week.
We got quite high up in the table after those two games, and we had a bit of headache.
Yeah.
I don't think Howsham could handle the headache. But no, I mean after the game, Howsh came over, clapped us all. All
I
the players
remember
did.
that. Yeah.
It was a great night, that one. But yeah, I don't know if you've got anything else to say about it.
No, I just remember it being a great night, and like Sam said, obviously, the scenes when Simon Russell scored the winner. Great player, Simon Russell, by the way. Really, really good for us in the conference.
He should have got injured.
Yeah, it was legs made a bit out of chocolate lately, but he's still going, he's still doing well. But yeah, that was I know we went down, but I would still count that as a special team. You look at some of the players who have moved on to bigger things. Look at Ryan Fallowfield, for example, League Two player, and he was playing for us in the conference. Obviously, done so well with Harrogate. Ben Middleton's up there in the leagues. Obviously not Football League, but he's up there. But yeah, we had some great players. I include Vinnie McKendy in this as well.
Vinnie McKendy, what a cult hero Vinnie McKendy was.
I mean, you just look at that team, because what had happened that summer, it got thrown together, and you know, I think they did a good job. I think Steve Hosham did a good job that season.
His recruitment was great.
We went down, okay, we came bottom, but that wasn't until the very last couple of weeks of the season, and everyone was saying, oh, you'll be down by Christmas and you won't win a game and you won't do this and you won't do that. We took some big scalps that season.
Did.
And that Gainsborough game, we beat Gainsborough twice, we took 6 points off them.
Well,
look at where we went to
save that one, because the guys away will be in a few weeks, towards the end of the season.
Look at when we went to York as well. Went to York,
I'm
not going to mention the name of the person that scored.
No, we better not.
No,
we don't want to get in trouble.
But no, I do remember that night. Like I say, it was a special one for me because it was the first time I had seen him in the conference. A very entertaining game, 3-2 win, and obviously we thought we might have thrown it away when it was 2-2, and then Russell popped up at the end, and
with his shin.
It was great scenes. It was great scenes, and you know, people who've been there years and years and years, miles longer than us, you know, and seeing them win a game at that level, it must have been so good for them. You know, and it was, it was a good one. That you've done well.
Well done, actually.
I struggle to think of one tonight, I must say.
Well, God, we've been to that many games.
Right, that's the problem.
Struggle.
That's the problem.
Well, no, it was certainly a memorable one, so well done.
A nice home game as well.
Yes. Now, right, last few bits of business. We need to look ahead to the weekend. So, we've got Albion Sports at home. We're allowed 300 in, which is good, so it's pay on the gate rather than all ticket. Hopefully we get near to 300 attending. Like you touched on earlier, Jack, another test from the league above. We do seem we will have played half these teams before the season start. I'm not going to sit here and say I know a massive amount about Albion Sports, but I think it's just basically what we need to say about the game is that it's another test against the team in the league that we want to be in this time next year.
Exactly, and I mean, they're going to be no pushovers, they're going to be very good. They're a side that, obviously, none of us know much about Albion. But yeah, it's going to be another tough test for us. Like you said, Sam, another team from the league above. At least we're playing them at home. We can have them on our own pitch. I'd probably fancy us to beat them. But again, it's another chance for Chris Builder to have a look at his squad, look at all the players in his squad, give them all minutes, and really push to be able to try and find his best starting 11 for when we end up playing St Helens on the 19th. But yeah, it'll be a good test. It was kind of thrown together a little bit. I think Chris knows the manager there or something. I believe that's the reason we're playing them. But like we said, mate, it'll be a good test, and all the players will get minutes, which for pre-season is all that matters.
That's what it's about the performance, players getting minutes. Although I would say, if Chris is listening, let's give players a bit of a run on Saturday. Let's try and keep it where we're going to keep our 11 on the pitch for a while.
100%. I mean,
let's get some momentum going.
Yeah, all of them need playing time, but you've also got to think, is this the time now to be getting niggly injuries by playing more of the time?
Don't play anybody who's got injuries, but I'm just saying let's give players a longer.
Absolutely, mate. You've got to, and I think probably about an hour 70 minutes for. Remember, we've still got a couple of weeks before the start of the season, so if we end up playing another pre-season friendly, that is when you go hammer 90 minutes. But again, you give these players who are going to be playing like your back four, you give them all 90 minutes, and a couple of your midfielders and probably your striker.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Ash, we've got that many options. We can afford to not play everybody for 90 minutes. And I think that's one of the beauties that we've got. Obviously, sometimes when the changes have happened, we've sort of died off a bit. But is that a player's coming on issue, or is that a fitness issue? Is that the other team?
Yeah.
We saw Gainsborough on Saturday. I don't need to go back, we need to look forward, but they brought on fresh legs in that second half as well. Look at Martin Wolford, ran us ragged. But our players that came on didn't look as fit as the players that Gainsborough brought on. But that's to be expected, and we might see that. I mean, as long as they're all getting minutes,
Yeah, that's the main thing.
At this point, it doesn't really matter.
It's about minutes of performance.
Absolutely.
That's the job.
And you protect your players for that game at St Helens on the 19th, when you go absolutely ham, and you go all out when you go all out to win.
Because we're going to need to, because like we said earlier, when you look at that game last night, and the difference in that game, the intensity of it, the pace it was played at, the challenges that were going in, compared to the sedate pace of pre-season games, we need to be ready to be bang at it for that St Helens game.
Playing Albion might help us, because they're going to come on Saturday off the back of a competitive game.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in that mindset.
Oh yeah, they're playing in the FA Cup.
They need to come and kick us. We need to get used to that.
Yeah.
We need to get used to being kicked. So I hope they are rough with us, and we can be rough back.
Yeah. I mean, they were a lower
Jimmy
half.
Forrest will put a couple of quid in the tin for
Yeah.
I'm willing to pay it.
I know. Come on, boys, cost us some money this week. Obviously they're not they weren't one of the best sides in that league last season. We sort of know what we're going to get with teams at this level now. Like we've said before,
Can I do my analogy?
Go on.
Big man at the back, hard man in the middle, big man at the top.
Yeah.
And it goes boom.
And it's very similar in Division 1 and in the Premier, a lot of it. There's some standout teams and there's some poor teams, but in general, you know what to expect, really.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm excited for it just because of how well we played in that first half last week. And we weren't at full strength either, arguably.
No.
So, that was very impressive, and it's going to be another enjoyable game. Like I say, hopefully get yourselves down there. We can get 300 in now, so let's have the 300 in, and me and Jack will be there if you want to enter the Super 6, so come and see us. You're not going?
I'm not, am I?
God, you can't even remember that you're not going.
Family, commitments.
Yeah, you have a lot of this, don't you?
I'll be there for the league games. When I'm allowed to be.
Will you pass?
Well, I've got a pass now, so I've got no reason.
No one knows that. You've not mentioned that. You didn't mention that last week either.
I can get out and show everybody.
That could be taken very wrongly. So
let's just swiftly move on. Right, okay, so final bit of business. Let's have some predictions.
Okay. I'm not going to be at the game, so if any Albion people take issue with what I'm going to say here, they can't punch me. You two might get punched, but I won't. I don't think Albion are very good. I think we're very good. They're going to have a gruelling game tonight against Campion, who I think Campion will beat them. I don't know what the score is at the minute. So they're going to be down. They're going to be disheartened. They're going to come to us all upset because they're out in the FA Cup. I'm going to beat them 4-0.
Positive for Mr. Walker there.
I don't think I've ever known you so positive.
I'm going to Google the Campion score while we're here, just so we.
Yeah, let us know what the latest score is.
I'll give my tuppence. I think it'll be a tough game. Like, annoyingly, having to agree with what Ash says, I think Campion will be a bit tired coming off the back of tonight's game. Not Campion, Albion. Will be a bit tired coming off the back of tonight's game. I fancy us to just be a bit fitter than them, and I'm going to go for 2-0 win.
Do you want me to interject with the Campion Albion score?
Go on.
It's 0-0.
Great game. About half time with it. Something like that.
Yeah, do you want to, you talk, so we'll get the whole road score up.
I'm going to say that I think we are just a better side. Even though I don't know anything about Albion, I just think that Ferriby is that good. I mean, hopefully that first 45 minutes last week wasn't a flash in the pan, because if it's not, we're going to have a really good season. If we play like that, we're at home on our pitch, which is the best pitch in both these two divisions, and I'll have that argument with anybody.
Red Rebel won't be happy.
I'm going for what did you say?
I said 2-0. So.
I'm going to go 3-1.
2-0, 3-1, 4-0.
Yeah, we're all predicting a pretty comfortable afternoon.
Latest score from up in Durham, it's Bishop Auckland 0, Hall Road Rangers 0. So well playing Hall Road after half an hour. Giving them a good game.
That's a tough game, because you say yourself about the Northern League sides. We've that's just about come to the end of the second one. I'll just reiterate again, I'm not going to get bored of saying it. Thank you everyone for the feedback so far. It's been absolutely brilliant. we set this up. We thought we'll see how it goes, but we didn't expect it, did we?
Although I think our listenership over in Winston has gone down a couple of people.
Yeah, I know we might have lost a couple of viewers there, and if we had any in Brid to start with, they've both gone. So thanks Ash for that. But again, I'll put out full entry details for the Super 6. Like I say, really encourage everyone to get involved. As you've heard tonight, 3 absolutely brilliant prizes. It's only a £5 to enter. It's going to last all season. You know, it's going to be a good laugh to see who can be up there. We'll hopefully have a bit of a title race, not like Liverpool and Man City last season.
Let's hope we'd have a title race. Let's hope there's a race between 2nd and 4th and we win the league by 30 points.
Well, yeah, that's what we hope for Ferriby.
Yeah.
But we want the Super 6 to be exciting.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I wasn't listening.
Come on, Ashley, wake up, son.
Thank God it's the end. You need another coffee, I think.
I do. Been a long day.
So yeah, thanks again for watching. We'll get this put out on YouTube, and look out at the screen at the end for our social media and email details, which will be helpful for entering the Super 6. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.